Hey guys, coming to you from Lexington Comic-Con in Louisville, Kentucky. Gonna do some toy hunting this weekend. I just got here, about to go pick up my badges. They've actually got me in as press badges this time, so I'm gonna be doing some filming, showing hauls, things like that. Probably do one huge video. I'll be here for a couple days, so yeah, let's just get right into it. So the first night of Lexington Comic and Toy Convention came to a close the Friday night. I didn't actually find any toys. I found some things that I had thought about buying, but my priorities kind of lied elsewhere. So I'm going to show you guys what we got Friday night, and then we'll go back to looking at some of the stuff on the show floor and then some actual toys. So my main goal for the entire convention wasn't even toy related. It was getting an autograph. Two autographs in particular, but one of them was a little bit more important, and that was Judith Hoag, the original April O'Neil from the original TMNT movie, and I had something special that I got for her to sign. This is a reproduction print of the drawing of Leonardo she does in the movie, and then I had her sign her name and then write April O'Neil in the same kind of font that she used, and she actually pointed out that she wrote all of these little artist notes on this drawing that they used in the movie. So I got to meet her, got her autograph. She was super cool. Very, very, very cool to talk to. And then the other autograph that we got Friday night was Power Ranger related, Super Sentai to be exact. And if you guys have seen some of my videos, you know that I am a big Power Ranger fan, although they don't get featured on the channel too much. So much to the point that, I do Power Ranger cosplay from time to time. It's been a while since we had the kid, because it's hard to do that kind of stuff with her. But, Power Rangers has been a long-standing thing in my life, and Lexington has had in the past the Japanese Sentai Rangers for Mighty Morphin or Zero Ranger. So they've had black, yellow, and pink, and this year they had pink and red. So I've gotten the autographs for the other three, but this year we got to meet Yuta Mochizuki, sorry, and he got his autograph. We got to meet him. He was really cool, hung out for a while. He was honestly more interested in playing with the kiddo than seeing us, but he was an awesome celebrity to meet. Very cool guy. So yeah, that was the Friday pickup, so let's get into it and see the rest of the show floor and what we got on Saturday. So the first pickup of Saturday morning was something that I honestly didn't think I was going to be buying because it was a Motu Classics figure, and usually they go for a pretty decent price on the aftermarket, but this was the first booth that I stopped at while I was doing some filming Saturday morning, and coincidentally enough, while I was looking at Motu Classics wearing a Motu t-shirt, I actually got recognized by someone on the show floor, which was kind of weird, in a good way. Like, it's cool. Yes, somebody in the real world actually watches my videos, but it was weird to be recognized, weird to be noticed. Like, I don't really know what to say. Thank you for watching, though. But that was actually really cool, and I got to talking to the vendor about the whole YouTube thing, but then I saw that he had a box that didn't have a price tag on it, and it is something that I have wanted to get a second of for a long time. Not for myself, but for my daughter. So this is something she really shouldn't play with. It's not even close to child friendly, especially not for a 1.5-year-old, but it's the one toy that she always gravitates to when she gets entry into the toy room. So I was able to find her a Motu Classics Shadow Beast, and I only paid 30 bucks for this guy. That is, as far as I'm concerned, about as good a deal as you can get. He was in box, 100% new. He was immediately ripped out when we got back to the hotel room, so that's why you don't see the box. I've still got the mailer, but the actual box was pretty thrashed. There was some excitement behind that one. So yeah, first pickup of Saturday was this humongous hulking beast for a mere 30 bucks, which I can't remember exactly right now, but that's really, really close to retail, if not at retail, or maybe slightly under, because that's a ton of plastic for 30 bucks, brand new. I'm just so glad that I asked the vendor, what are you looking for? And the price was beyond reasonable, not to mention the fact that all of his other classics were really, really competitively priced. He was just trying to get rid of them. The second stop on Saturday's toy hunt adventure ended up at a booth that is a local toy seller to Lexington. He doesn't have a store, but he is a local guy that sells toys and was offloading some of his own personal collection from a line of figures that I have never really gotten heavy into. I bought them when they were new and opened them, but I've always had a casual passing interest in them, but for this price I couldn't pass a couple up to get them carded. They aren't anything crazy, but it's a long-standing show that I've been a fan of for a long time, even though it's not nearly as good as it used to be. But we've got some World of Springfield figures. We got the Bart figure. These were $5. I wanted to buy more, but I didn't really know what to do with a bunch of carded ones, and I don't want to open up carded figures that I don't really plan on keeping the cards for. So I left a bunch behind, but I picked up the two characters that I really wanted to have carded, because I do have quite a few of these, or at least enough, open and loose from when these were new about 18 years ago or so, when I was in high school. So, yeah. So we got Bart, and we've got Flanders. I saw Flanders at the back of a peg, and I can't leave a Flanders behind. One of my favorite characters. He's got a Bishop of Barbecue chef's hat. He's got the Bible. He's got the spatula for the grill. But I have a huge nostalgic interest in these figures, just because I bought these kind of new. They were, at the time, I bought them new, and they were really cool. There's a huge line of these, more so than I'll ever be able to compile a whole set of. But I'm a big fan of the Simpsons show, and yeah, I couldn't pass up an opportunity to buy a few carded figures from this line. And the last toy pickup of the entire con was something that I actually tipped a friend off to before I started buying any, because he's got a bigger interest in loose figures of this line than I do. I'm more interested in them carded to keep them carded. So I let him rummage through them. He found some really great figures. We actually both found some really great figures, but he got some that I knew he would want to keep rather than me getting on board, since I would rather have them carded when I can find them. So you guys have seen some of these on the channel previously, some carded examples like I've mentioned of the 90s Toy Biz era Marvel figures, specifically X-Men figures. So there was a booth there selling these guys for $4 each. They were in immaculate shape. Almost all of them that we could find had all their accessories, and all the ones we bought were complete. But most of these look like they just came out of the package. Some of them have light up features that don't work anymore, obviously. But first one that we got was Sabretooth. He's got an action feature. I don't know what kind of thing this is supposed to be. You squeeze his legs and his arms go out to the side and his mouth opens, and all the features work. He's probably the worst one I got, because he's actually sculpted in such a way that he cannot stand flat-footed. His right foot is, it's like a walking pose almost, which is very, very cumbersome to stand up. I don't know how I'm going to display him forever. We got Beast, and he's a huge hunk of plastic here. He's supposed to have some sort of flipping feature, but I have no idea how it works. The little dial on his back is really loose. I don't know if that's good or bad. And he has a thing where you can suction cup him to the wall, and he holds onto this bar. I've not had much luck doing that. I'm also not licking this suction cup either. But yeah, Beast is a good one. You can't pass up a Beast figure, especially for $4. One of my favorite X-Men villains of all time, Mr. Sinister. We absolutely need a new Legends of him. He has a light up feature. It doesn't work. He has a removable cape, and that's it. But he looks really, really good. Paint on this guy is very, very clean. Everything is sculpted just perfectly on him. Yeah, one of my favorite villains of the X-Men and Marvel in general, to be sure. And then the last figure that I picked up is one that I never had this version as a kid. Not sure why. Had a bunch of the other ones, and I was looking for a version of him in particular, but they didn't have him. So we got this Cable here. This is very, very much like the recent Marvel Legends Cable that I reviewed. He's got a big gun with a rotating barrel on the end. He can only move his arm out to the side. It's got a bar going through it, and it only articulates outwards, and he has an action feature with a karate chop. And then the last pickup of the con weekend, this was not something that I got at the con, is a new Marvel Legend. Just figured we show it off here rather than wait for a haul video, because she's going to get a review very soon. But this is really the only figure in the Thanos wave that I truly care about, to the point where I'm buying her now. There's a couple other comic figures in this wave that I have a passing interest in, but I don't think I want to pay 20 bucks for them right now. So we got the new Songbird figure. She's a character that I like, which is why I wanted to get her. So we've got the new figure here. I'm really excited to see what's going on with that big energy effect in the background. But yeah, not a whole lot to talk about here. This is just something that we got this weekend while at the con, but not from the con. Alright guys, so that wraps up Lexington Comic and Toy Convention 2018. That's my haul, autographs, toys. Honestly, this is the first year I've actually gone specifically looking for toys. Normally I go to do other things, autographs, meet celebrities, things like that, things that I can't do anywhere else relatively easily, or to do, like I've mentioned, you know, cosplay in the past. But this year was a big focus on toys. I was specifically looking for vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Really didn't come across any, especially not anything that I needed. Always looking for Thundercats, and I only found one booth that had anything that I might have possibly needed, but the price just wasn't there for me. And then of course Toy Biz X-Men, which I did luck out on and find. And then we got these unexpected finds with the Simpsons and with the Motu Classics. And then of course I got my autographs, which that April O'Neil autograph is probably one of the best things I've gotten in a very, very long time. That's probably like my first movie crush, I think, so that was a big one. That was a huge one to knock off the list. But Lexington is, as always, a fantastic convention. I have been going for years, 5 or 6 years. Now it's a convention that renewed my interest in Power Rangers when I got to meet all of them, basically, years back. And it's just responsible for a huge resurgence in pop culture for me. It's certain things, really. It is definitely the biggest convention of any kind in Kentucky for sure. I mean, it's absolutely enormous, really, and it's grown quite a bit. So if you are anywhere near the Lexington area, it's always in March, I would highly recommend checking out. It is the place to go in Kentucky for any kind of toy convention, and especially for meeting celebrities, because they really go all out on trying to bring the big names. So yeah guys, that is my look at the Lexington Comic and Toy Convention 2018 along with my haul. Let me guys know what you think down below, and until next time.